is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome everyone to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Today is Monday, September 26, 2022, and we're about to do a live in-depth planetary puja using the chart of now based on my current location, which is right now in New Mexico. I'm Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting these calls Monday through Friday on this channel. Dr. Pillai has explained that the planets and stars are more than just objects in outer space. There's also a divine light being associated with all of them. And in doing this puja, we're inviting their blessings to come into our lives and into our world. We're going to be invoking all of the planets. We're going to be invoking the stars that they're in, the archetypes that rule those stars, the planets that rule those stars, as well as the planets that are ruling the signs that various planets are in the zodiac today. We're going to be using the chart of now based on my current location here in New Mexico. And I apologize, it looks like I didn't get the charts up into the club.astroved.blog over the weekend the way I was supposed to, so I will catch up on that today, and they'll be in there for tomorrow. We're using the South Indian style layout of the chart. Each of these 12 boxes represents a zodiac sign, and where it says AC, this is the ascendant sign. This is Virgo. This is a sign coming up on the eastern horizon right now in my location here in New Mexico. And you can see that it's a very busy sign today. We've got Venus, we've got Mercury, we've got the sun and moon all in Virgo today. So that's an interesting combination for our puja for this morning. I've got the chart drawn in chalk on a little chalkboard on a side table, and that's where I'll be doing the puja, putting the flower petals as we invoke these different divine beings. Flower petals have an esoteric property in which if you're holding a flower petal or a flower while you say a mantra or a prayer, the flower has such purity, it can take that sound or that prayer right up into the causal plane or the Akash and update your own Akashic record. So we're very grateful to the little flower petals that we're using this morning for the puja. I also have a container of water. I have a bell, I have a hand fan, and I have a lit tea light that I'll be using at some point during the puja as well. We're going to start with first, I'm taking a little container of water and dipping my ring finger of my right hand into it and sprinkling a few drops of water on each side of the blackboard to purify the place where I'm doing the puja, putting a few drops of water on my own head and sending a few drops of water out into space towards all of you, whether you're watching it live or watching it later on a replay, so that we're all performing this puja with a sense of being in sacred space and being purified ourselves for the puja. Next, I'm going to invoke Ganesha, the archetype who rules obstacles and is able to push them aside for us. We ask him to remove obstacles from this puja itself. Om Sring Gang, Om Sring Gang, Om Sring Gang. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles for doing this puja and to remove obstacles in the lives of all of those who are watching the puja. And we thank him for his help with this. Now I do a short Tamil chant, asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvar Kumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvar Kumikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvar Kumikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial today towards us and towards our world. We thank Saint Gnanasamunda for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now we're going to honor various time elements that are active right now. We're going to honor the planet that rules the day, the star that the moon is in, the Tithi or the moon phase, the planet that rules the hour, and we will also honor the elements of the yoga and the Karana time Shaktis. We start with the planet that rules the day. Today is Monday, ruled by the moon. As I say Namaha, I'm going to put flower petals on top of the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Now we invoke the star or the nakshatra that the moon is in at the moment. Right now the moon is in a star called Hasta. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Hastaye Namaha. Om Hastaye Namaha. Om Hastaye Namaha. Now we invoke the Tithi or the moon phase. Right now we are in the first waxing moon called Pratipat in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said we would use the Sanskrit name of the moon phase, followed by the word Devi, which is invoking the light being associated with that moon phase. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Pratipat Devye Namaha. Om Pratipat Devye Namaha. Om Pratipat Devye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that's ruling the hour. In my local area, this is Saturn. I'm going to put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now for the yoga and the Karana, Dr. Pillai said we would not use flower petals for them. We would just say their names 3 times each. The yoga that's active right now is one called Brahma that has energies of being trustworthy. Brahma, Brahma, Brahma. And the Karana that's active right now is one called Bhava, which has energies of creativity. Bhava, Bhava, Bhava. Now we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. Dr. Pillai said we would always begin with whatever planet is the ascendant sign, which is represented here with the AC, which is today in the sign of Virgo. He said we would start with honoring whatever planet rules the ascendant sign. And right now that's Mercury. And Mercury happens to be retrograde. I'm putting the flower petals on top of Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Now, starting in the ascendant sign, we're going to honor the planets for the signs that they're in, going in a clockwise direction around the chart. Today in Virgo is Venus, Mercury, the Sun, and the Moon. Venus, Mercury, and the Sun are all in the same star. So I will invoke all three of those planets before I invoke the star. We start with Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Next, we honor Mercury, who is retrograde and extra powerful. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Next, we honor the sun. I put the flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Venus, Mercury, and the Sun are all in a star called Uttara Phalguni, which is one of the stars with energy for relationships. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals across all three of those planets. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Uttara Phalguni star is ruled by Aryaman. He has agenda for ruling contracts, honor, integrity. We ask him for his blessings to help us all be honorable people. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Uttara Phalguni star is ruled by the sun. I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the moon for being in Virgo. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. The moon is in Hasta, a star symbolized as an open hand in blessing. Om Hastaye Namaha. Om Hastaye Namaha. Om Hastaye Namaha. Hasta star is ruled by Soma, a form of the moon that is more of a liquid form, a kind of divine nectar. We honor this form of the moon, and I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Hasta star is ruled by the moon. Again, we honor the moon, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kanya or Virgo, the most detail-oriented of all the zodiac signs, today containing Venus, planet of happiness and enjoyment of material plane comforts and the arts, Mercury, planet of communication, and also a planet that helps us with analysis and pattern recognition, and the Sun, which is our soul, and also a planet important for health and leadership, and the Moon, which is our mind and our emotions, important for our sensitivity and our intuition. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, going in a clockwise direction from the ascendant, the next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Tula or Libra, which today contains Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Vishaka, a star that can give us blessings for triumph and victory. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings for leadership and courage, and Agni can give blessings for transformation and purification. We honor both of them, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a zodiac sign with energies for balance, fairness, and harmony, today containing Ketu, sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde. We start with honoring Pluto, and for him we use the mantra Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaya Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttarashada, a star that can give blessings for long-lasting success. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 archetypes who each embody a different, unique, divine, universal principle. We honor all 10 of them, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor Saturn, who is retrograde, for being in Capricorn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta. This is a star that can give blessings for prosperity, music, good reputation. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Danishtaye Namaha. Om Danishtaye Namaha. Om Danishtaye Namaha. Danishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule different spheres of existence. We honor all 8 of them, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Danishta star is ruled by Mars. I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities, today containing Pluto, a planet that can give blessings for rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that can give blessings for patience, organization, structure, compassion, and service to others. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Kumbha or Aquarius, which today contains Neptune, who is retrograde. We honor Neptune, and the mantra we use for him is Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada. This is a star that can give blessings for purification. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, an archetype who can help us to experience deeper levels of silence and stillness, as well as forgiveness. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aquarius, which is Saturn. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kumbha or Aquarius, the most humanitarian and service-oriented of all the zodiac signs, today containing Neptune, planet that helps with our intuition and our ability to understand our own inner life. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Meena or Pisces, which today contains Jupiter, who is also retrograde. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. This is a star that Dr. Pillai says can give blessings for business development. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada's star is ruled by an archetype called Ayurbundia. This is an archetype that can help to guard treasures and valuables. We ask his blessings to guard our treasures and valuables, including our treasure that is the earth itself. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Ayurbundiaye Namaha. Om Ayurbundiaye Namaha. Om Ayurbundiaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada's star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter. I put more flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena, or Pisces, the most transcendental and metaphysical of all the zodiac signs, today containing Jupiter, planet who helps us with everything related to spirituality, including our relationship with teachers, our ability to access spiritual teachings and to work with them, and our relationship with spiritual community. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Misha, or Aries, which today contains Rahu and also Uranus, who is retrograde. Both Rahu and Uranus are in the same star, so I will invoke both of the planets before I invoke the star. We start with Rahu. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we invoke Uranus, and for him we use the mantra Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. I put the flower petals on Uranus. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Hram Prajapataye Namaha. Rahu and Uranus are in a star called Bharani, a star with a tremendous amount of divine, feminine, Shakti, or energy, or power. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals across Rahu and Uranus. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by Yama, an archetype who can give blessings for justice. We honor him, and I put the flower petals across Rahu and Uranus. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by Venus. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries, which is Mars, I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign with very active energies, today containing Rahu, a planet that can help us to make friends with new technologies, and Uranus, a planet that helps with intelligence and success in life, and also helps with astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Vrishabha or Taurus, which today contains Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Mars is in a star called Mrgashira. This is a star that can give us energies to be curious about new things or to try new experiences. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Mrgashiraye Namaha. Om Mrgashiraye Namaha. Om Mrgashiraye Namaha. Mrgashira star is ruled, I think I made a mistake with Hasta. Mrgashira star is ruled by Soma, and Hasta is ruled by Savitur. Let me go back and honor Savitur for Hasta star. I'm going to put the flower petals on the moon for that star. Om Saviturye Namaha. Om Saviturye Namaha. Om Saviturye Namaha. Now we're honoring Soma, who is a liquidish form of the moon in the form of divine nectar. But I'm putting the flower petals now on top of Mars because he's the one in the star Mrgashira. We honor Soma. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Om Somaye Namaha. Mrgashira star is ruled by Mars. Again, we honor Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Taurus, which is Venus. I put this last set of flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Vrishabha or Taurus, a grounded earth sign that's also luxury loving, today containing Mars, excuse me, a planet of passion, a planet that likes to take practical action to solve problems, and a planet that has the energy of both the warrior and the healer. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I take a lit tea light and I hold it above the chart that has the blackboard that has the chart and all these little flower petals on it. And starting in the ascendant sign, I'm passing the light in the air 3 times above the chart, offering the element of light to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked. Now, I'm taking a hand fan and I'm going to wave it around the chart in the air, offering the element of air and a cooling breeze to all of these divine beings. And now I'm going to take a bell to offer the element of sound. And now I make prayer hands and make a sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them to bless all of us, to bless our families, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools. I ask them to bless our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire world. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. I pray for blessings for all of my teachers, past, present, and to come. And I pray for blessings for all of my students, past, present, and to come. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your own personal prayers for about a minute in silence, and then we can do some short Q&A. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Thank you all so much for joining us. I truly appreciate your participation and support. Right now, I have time to take a few questions in the chat if you have questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. So again, thank you for being here. We do appreciate it when you press the like button or when you subscribe to the channel, as this helps the channel to grow in the algorithm for YouTube, suggesting it to other people. And Dr. Pillai does want for this channel to grow. I'm checking the chat. Excuse me. Right now, I'm not seeing any questions, just seeing people expressing their hellos to each other, namastes. We have people from different countries, which is lovely, different parts of the world, which is fun. And very happy to have everyone here. Again, I want to be respectful towards your time. If you don't have questions today, that's fine. We are in a period right now called Navaratri, where we're celebrating the 9 nights of the goddess. We started last night. Traditionally, the first 3 nights are for the goddess Durga, who brings blessings of protection and can destroy energies that are blocking joy, destroys negativities of all kinds. The next 3 nights are for Lakshmi, who's bringing energies to destroy poverty consciousness and bring in energies of abundance. And the last three are traditionally for Saraswati, who is coming to destroy ignorance and bring in blessings for wisdom and the arts and the sciences and knowledge. So I hope in some way you're being able to honor the goddesses and the divine feminine energy that is coming so close and onto our planet at this time. And it was interesting that we had 4 planets this morning in the ascendant of Virgo, as that's the one sign that has a female energy, just a female energy, and it has symbolized by a woman in a boat, and she's carrying a light and a sheaf of grain in the other hand. So it has a lot of feminine energy there. I see a question. How is it possible to count 108 times when chanting? She's saying the logic mind versus the unconscious. I don't count by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I use a mala, which is a kind of rosary. It's a set of beads that's on a string or a cord, and there's 108 beads. And so every time I chant, I move one of those beads. So use it like a rosary for counting. So if you know that you have 108 beads on a loop, and each time you say your mantra and you roll the bead to the next one, that's how you can count 108. Because I agree with you, it'd be very hard for me personally to count and do the chant at the same time. There are many places that sell malas. They can be very, very inexpensive. They can be made of beautiful gemstones and very expensive, but you can make your own bead out of, if you could make it out of buttons. Or one time I had a friend, this is when I was much younger, I had a friend who made his mala every morning out of like a little breakfast cereal that had a hole in it, something called Fruit Loops. And then after he had done his 108, he put them all on a string and use that. And then he would eat the Fruit Loops. So you can do this in many different ways using your creativity. There are traditional types. Some are made out of sandalwood, seeds, different things. But I would just say get a mala, M-A-L-A. And you can buy them online if you don't have a store in your area that sells, things like that. So that would be the suggestion for how we count. And then if I was wanting to do, let's say like 108, let's say I was going to do that many, then I would maybe have a little card, or maybe I would have some pennies, 10 pennies, and I would move a penny to the side each time I did like 108. And after I've done 10 pennies worth, I know I've done over 108 times 10. I've done over actually 1,008 of the mantra. So I use counters like that. I use these props to help me with counting if I'm wanting to do that. So that's the answer to that one, Van. I hope that's helpful. Okay, good question. All right. So not seeing any other question in the chat. So I'll go ahead and let you go for today. And I will be here again tomorrow. So happy Navaratri, everyone. May the blessings of the goddesses be with all of you. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. May light encompass all.